Good morning. So, today we are at the concluding session of the course. So, rather than covering new material, we will try to conclude, and we conduct one thorough round of stock taking regarding what was achieved in the course, and we will not do it alone. We invite you to do this along with us. Here I am quoting from my opening lecture of session 1, in which we said that these will be the aspects or highlights of the course. Okay? And one by one, let us examine to what extent we have achieved them, and if some of them we have not achieved well, then let us ask why. And on our side, we ask why, and on your side, independently, you ask the same question. First, we promised a systematic scheme to teach English. In that, so far as words are concerned, we first developed a single vowel pattern of words, that is, word families having single vowel patterns. That was in quarter 1, and then we covered multiple vowel patterns in quarters 2 and 3. And the purpose of all this was to basically give the participants or students a large stock of words along with its typical spelling patterns and pronunciation patterns. Okay? And in the last quarter of the course, we covered quite a few professional instruments of vocabulary building. Okay? In the segment of sentences, in quarter 1, we covered simple past, present, future in active voice, and we stayed limited to that. Okay? In quarter 2, we extended the study to passive voice and continuous tense. In quarter 3, we completed all tenses, but stayed mostly in simple sentences with just a little foray into compound sentences. And in the last quarter, we covered all kinds of sentences and conducted their analysis in a formal manner, which is complete at the professional level. Now, you should ask whether this pattern of teaching was systematic enough for learning and teaching of English. Okay? Second is that we promised a representative and suggestive set of material. So, now the entire material of the course is in front of you. So, you think whether any representative topic you can think of which has been left out. If so, then when you redesign your course program based on this, then you include that, and if you want to do us a favor, let us know. Okay? So, we will also include the same in our program. Okay? Next, suggestive set of material. The question is, any suggestion in the entire material which has been left unclear, which has been suggested, but the meaning of the suggestion is not clear. So, we should know that, so that we take enough measure in the next round to make those suggestions clear. Another aspect of personality of EPP course is that in this, the material and method is rolled together. Okay? So, the idea is that somebody who joins the course as a student goes out with the seed of a future potential teacher inside. Okay? So, those of you who are teachers in some way or the other in your professional career might testify to this experience of mine, that when you sat through courses of your favorite teachers or your favorite subjects, then a few aspects of the delivery, a few aspects of the subject matter, a few aspects of the style of presentation you found powerful and useful. And then later, when you came to a teaching position, you built upon that. This is a typical experience of most of us who have been a teacher. Okay? So, a student who sits through the course with the prime intention of learning or improving English, if he does a good job through the course, then by the end of the course, he goes out of the course with the seed of a potential teacher inside him. Okay? On the other side, a teacher attending the course develops a thorough understanding regarding what a student really undergoes. Okay? So, in EPP, we typically do not promote the idea of turnkey project executions by teachers. That we do not recruit a teacher saying that you come here and you teach this topic, and the teacher does not know anything else of the course and goes and delivers that topic. We never believe in that kind of operational modality. Okay? So, somebody who is a teacher, even for a segment of the course, should know what is going to take place in the rest of the course. Okay? So, a teacher attending the course develops a thorough understanding of the entire background that a student goes through during the course. And the role of a student and a teacher here is actually not very clearly defined. In our understanding, a student for this course is that person who primarily sits through the course with an intention to improve his English. And teaching as a primary activity is not in his focus, at least not now. On the other hand, a teacher is one who is confident of his or her English, rightly or wrongly, but sits through it particularly in order to figure out how to teach her class. Okay? So, even if her English is not really good, then through the course we expect that a lot of lacunae will be remedied. Okay? We promised that we will start from the base and we will target the top. And you will appreciate that very little background is needed to appreciate the initial lessons of the course. Okay? This is at one extreme. At the other extreme, we consider no text beyond the appreciation of our average student. In the beginning, in session 1, I pointed out that it would be a wrong position to take that, oh, these authors, these works, these texts, they are too high, they are too complicated, they are not for us. This attitude we throughout shunned, this attitude we never supported. And therefore, in our usual practice materials, we never thought that too difficult things we should not put. Okay? Any text that exists should be within the reach of our students. For example, see the sources of passages. They are from very good world-renowned authors. Tagore, Dinkar, Krishan Chandra, Mary Shelley, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, Douglas Adams, Dante, Sophocles, and Charlotte Bronte. Okay? So, these are all world-renowned authors. And in the continuation of our discussion, so we say that any text that exists should be within the reach of our students. It's a different matter that some students have to spend more time on it, some students will need a little more hand-holding, but certainly he can appreciate, certainly he can cover it. Okay? With enough time and enough effort, nothing should be unreachable. So, that is our conviction, and we want to infect you with that conviction. Okay? And of course, we started with the beneficial use of the medium of CLL in the earlier segments, and in the last quarter, which we call as the professional segment of EPP course, we completely left the use of CLL, because our claim is that by the time somebody completes 3/4 of the course, he should not need the medium of CLL. Okay. Another important issue was the scalability of audience of different backgrounds. So, 40 days or 2 months, the way this course has been delivered in the present execution is perhaps all right for those who start with a good or a reasonable background in English. In our scale, A or B, which means primarily those who don't need this course, okay, for their own improvement. So far as the teaching scheme is concerned, yes, they need it, but so far as their own improvement is concerned, these segments do not need this course. Okay. This same material with enough practice in between should be all right for a 40 weeks course or say 1 year course for those people who are the real clientele of EPP. Okay. They in our scale fall in the category of B, C and D. Okay. If they go through the standard test of English as a functional language conducted by us, then those who fall in this category are the people for whom this course is important. Okay. Going further, 40 months with more practice, unrelenting practice, unless the students develop the background, that means 4 years for children and those with really poor background, that is D and E. Okay. And when I say 4 years, don't get shocked. Through 10 years you are supposed to learn that English. Okay. So, now whatever we have covered in the 40 sessions of the course, now extrapolate with this scale and ask whether the same core thread of material with less or more practice will suit all segments. Okay. So, this is a question which each of you and each of us should ask ourselves and figure out our own answers for them, and all answers will not match most probably. Okay. They will vary over a spectrum. And we made a promise. We said that we do not promise that within 40 sessions, within 20 hours, we will make a tension out of anybody, but we did promise that starting from any level, there will be a significant improvement. Ask yourself, if you have gained significantly over last 2 months in your command over English, that is the difference between June 2015 and September 2015. Okay. So, ask yourself whether you have gained significantly in your command over English or in your thought regarding how English can be taught systematically. This second part I have added because there are many participants in the course whose English to begin with was absolutely fine. Okay. So, they did not have much to gain in their command of English. Okay. But then to them also I ask to ask themselves whether they have gained enough in terms of their thought regarding how should English be taught. Okay. If the answer to this question, either this or this, is yes, then you would say that the course has been successful. If not, then it is important to figure out why. And when we do this kind of a stock taking, typically we like to do like this. Who is the culprit? We say, okay. So, here also we do the same thing. So, I ask you to ask yourself whether you have put in enough effort, whether you have gone through the lectures thoroughly, whether you have done the assignments with due diligence, and you will certainly ask me whether we have done a good job at the delivery, and whether to begin with this course should really be delivered in this manner. And our answer to that is not really. How should we think this course be given? Okay. this is our favorite algorithm to deliver this course. First, conduct an entry level test, identify those who can sustain module 1. You see, module 1 is simple enough, yet there are a large number of people who cannot sustain it. Okay. And asking them to forcibly go through module 1 and then quickly module 2 and then quickly module 3 and then 4, that is torture. Okay. So, but in this case we did not have any way to stop that torture. Of course, those students who felt that this is too much for them, they quickly dropped out, and we are unhappy about that. But we wish that we had a way to scale it and lengthen it for different kinds of students. Okay. So, identify those who can sustain module 1 and arrange a preparatory module 0 for those who cannot. Okay. And after that, conduct module 1 over at least 10 weeks, not 10 days, okay, maybe up to 10 months for children, with comprehensive practice sessions. The kind of practice sessions that we have shown here with just 5 minutes, 7 minutes kind of snapshots, okay, that kind of practice should go on for a long time. Okay. At the end of module 1, conduct a test on module 1. Advise those who fail this test to make up on module 1 or repeat it before joining module 2. Okay. For this also we had no way in the existing scheme. Okay. Exercise similar checks after modules 2 and 3. Okay. And by the time you reach the professional part, the module 4, okay, so intersperse material of module 4 with items of teaching methodology. Ask module 4 students to execute teaching assignments. Include their performance in those teaching assignments in the overall evaluation of module 4. Okay. This is how module 4 should be really conducted and evaluated. Okay. And throughout the 4 modules, arrange a number of speaking and discussion sessions. This was something which we simply could not do in this online course. Okay. Of course, we can go on telling you that at every opportunity you go on speaking, but we cannot organize it. Okay. Further, towards the end of module 4, encourage the students on creative writing and get them to comment upon one another's work at a professional level, which is equivalent to peer review. Okay. I am telling you all these because of a futuristic notion that I have. One is that if later we get the operational latitude in hand to offer an online course with a long agenda over time, then we would prefer to do something which is somewhat in this line. And this is also a suggestion to those school teachers, those schools and those colleges who have sent bulk students to this course, that they do not need to wait for next round of delivery of an NPTEL course for the continued improvement of their students year after year. Based on whatever material I have already given, some teachers, with the help of some of the students who are sincerely participating in the course, can design their in-house PELT or in-house APP course, which can go year after year for every successive batch of the college. Okay. So, if some colleges, if some schools decide to do like that, then this will be my advice to them, that this is the best way to do it, best so far as I think at this point of time. Okay. Besides, other than saying that this was not the best way of delivering because of the network problems and because of the boundary conditions of the course, let me with humility admit that the experience of last 2 months has been overwhelming to us, okay, even to us. The reason is partly because of the fact that at the time of starting this course, we did not have the entire material also with us. Okay. For the first part, for the first half, quarters 1 and 2, we had the well tested material. Okay. For the third quarter, we had the material, but it had not been delivered before. And the last quarter, even the material was not there, only we had some thoughts that what should go in module 4 or quarter 4. Okay. So, the last quarter has been actually designed over the last 2-3 weeks. Earlier, we just had an idea of what will go inside it. Apart from that, the other reason why we have been overwhelmed is because of the tremendous response of participants. So, the conviction and the sincerity displayed by a large number of participants in following through the course and discussing on the forum and submitting assignments in with uncanny regularity impressed upon us that it's a very serious matter to give this audience the best that we can, and therefore we had to really put our best effort to compile the best material and put the best course. Okay. Well, so what was achieved? This was the summary. Of course, a lot of that is in the form of questions, and the answers to those questions will really answer what was really achieved. Okay. And as we close, let me tell you what else is there in today's update. Of course, in today's assignment, we have a comprehension exercise, which is something expected in the last assignment of the course. But this comprehension passage is a little different, and it points to a fact. Okay? And I would like to emphasize that fact. A well written passage, if well read, conveys a lot. Apart from conveying the current intent, what is described in the present passage, it tells something of the background upon which it stands, and to an extent it anticipates what is to come next. So, this is the source of continuity over a running text. So, as you read through this passage and try to answer the questions, you will find that one, apart from questions which are being asked on the passage as it is, there is a question which asks you something about what went before, and another question which asks you something which will come after in the story. Okay? And I am telling you that you have enough information in this passage itself to get the answers to those questions also. Okay? So, comprehension should be of that caliber. Okay. So, at this site, we have started uploading some of the sample solutions, which we will extend with the remaining assignments also soon. And this I have already shown you. And just like at the end of every quarter, we have an additional exercise for teachers. So, this time it is very blanket questions. Okay. So, there are 3 questions: design a basic course, design this course itself, and design an advanced course. Okay. So, it is like belt, pelt and selt. Okay. Basic English, practical English and comprehensive English. Okay. So, this is equivalent to our module 0. This is equivalent to the course that we have just concluded, or modules or quarters 1, 2, 3 of that, and this starts from the quarter 4 of our course and goes beyond in uncharted territories. Okay? That is the CELT, comprehensive English. Okay? Okay. So, the question is, after this course, what next? Of course, we have seen that we tried to achieve quite a bit of things, and some of that we have achieved, some of that perhaps we have not achieved. In any case, what should be done next? First, the effort must continue. okay, beyond August 2015. And some useful advice. One is write. Write with pride, with the conviction that what you write will be read by people and those people will be benefited. Okay? And write to convince. Okay? And take special care in that direction. Make special effort on improving vocabulary. Okay? Study and practice grammar. So, this is in the words and sentences segment. Okay? And of course, read. Read means not just your textbooks, not just the reports that you have to read as part of your office work. Beyond technical matter, newspapers and magazines. Read. Lots of reading material are there. Lots of reading materials are there, and they are really beautiful, really enjoyable. Okay? And in order to ensure that you do read, assign certain reading hours, during which you don't do anything. Whatever pressing the office work may be, whatever pressing the family responsibilities may be, that is your time, your reading time. You be selfish, okay? And read, okay? For improvement of your own mind, for your own enjoyment. You deserve this. You owe it to yourself. And develop strategies for ensuring to devote those reading hours. Strategies means how to get rid of the family and work pressure, okay, in order to devote that reading time. Okay? And of course, whenever opportunity arises, speak, argue. Okay? Self-talk at leisure. If you don't find anybody to argue against, then self-talk. Okay? You tell your side of the argument, and then you tell the possible adversary side of the argument also. Okay? And then you again tell your response and his response. Okay? The way you plan chess moves. Okay? Failures and wastages, they will be there. Okay? Some effort will be failures. For example, you take up a book, and after reading through 60 pages, you feel that that's not a good book. I don't want to read that. Okay, so it's not something which you should cry over. Okay, so and that doesn't mean that the next book you don't pick up with because of the fear that maybe after 60 pages I will decide that it is also not a good book. Okay, so no regrets over failed efforts. So this course, if you have started and halfway through if you have felt that you could not continue it, no regrets about that also. The material is there, you go through it later at your leisure whenever you have time. Okay? No regrets over efforts that appear as wasted. I said appear as wasted because no effort, no experience in life is a waste. Okay? Have you read the book Q&A? Maybe you have not. The story has been made a movie that you might have seen, Slumdog Millionaire. Okay. In that, through the experience of his life, he somehow knew, the protagonist, the hero, somehow knew the answers to many questions, which made him win the large prize. Okay. Or as the poet says, nothing goes waste, nothing remains incomplete. Or incomplete efforts are also not waste. Worships, the ends of which I failed to attain, even those I know have gone not in vain. Buds that shed, unblossomed dead, the stream that lost current in sandy terrain, even those I know have gone not in vain. Songs and tunes that always did me elude, even those are not lost, choked, subdued. Songs unsung, tunes unstrung, being played in your strings, they remain. Even those I know have gone not in vain. And those who can appreciate the original, and with this Shraddhanjali from our side to the author of Gitanjali, we close this course, and somewhere else, some other time, see you again. Thank you.